It was just after the incoming president, Donald Trump, spoke on the phone to the president of Mexico, and they talked about some sort of an agreement on stopping the flow of people into the United States. Well, you know what happened? Mexican authorities that same day broke up 2 migrant caravans heading to the United States. And apparently, on that same day, the migrants and caravan, the president of Mexico said that migrants and caravans will be taken care of before they reach the border. That is something new, and that happened after her conversation with Donald Trump.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and folks, let's cut through the crap and get to what's really going on. President-elect Donald Trump is at it again, making bogus claims that have real-world consequences. Recently, he boasted about a supposed agreement with Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum to halt migration through Mexico into the United States, effectively closing our southern border. But guess what? Sheinbaum herself has come out and said that that's a load of bull. This isn't just a simple misunderstanding. It's a deliberate attempt to mislead the American people, and it's high time that we set the record straight. On November the 27th, Trump took to his echo chamber, Truth Social, to declare that he had a wonderful conversation with President Sheinbaum, during which she supposedly agreed to stop migration through Mexico into the United States, effectively sealing our southern border. He also claimed they discussed measures to curb the massive drug inflow into the United States. But here's the kicker. Sheinbaum says that it wasn't so.
And then we had a statement from Sheinbaum herself disputing that characterization of the call. She wrote, quote, "Everyone has their own way of communicating, but I can assure you, I give you the certainty that we would never, and we would be incapable of it, to propose that we would close the border. It has never been our approach, and of course, we don't agree with that." So again, very different views of what was said.
She cleared up any confusion. While they did discuss migration and security, Mexico's approach is to build bridges, not walls. She emphasized that Mexico is already addressing migration issues in a humane and respectful manner, and there was no agreement to close the border. Trump lied. Adding fuel to the fire, Fox News jumped on the bandwagon, portraying this non-existent agreement as a monumental success. In their segment titled "Mexican President Reverses Course After Trump Threat," they suggested that Mexican authorities, following Trump's threats, broke up 2 migrant caravans heading to the United States and would now handle migrants before they reached the border. Conveniently, they failed to mention Sheinbaum by name, referring to her only by title, and glossed over her explicit denial of any such agreement. This selective reporting isn't just lazy journalism, it's deliberate.
Concerns of a massive trade war between the U.S. and 2 of its largest trade partners after President-elect Donald Trump said on his first day in office he will, quote, charge Mexico and Canada a 25% tariff on all products coming into the United States and its ridiculous open borders. Trump went on to say the tariff will remain in effect until such time as drugs, in particular fentanyl, and all illegal aliens stop this invasion of our country. Well, the fallout pretty much immediate. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum responding to those threats in a letter to Donald Trump, writing, quote, "Neither threats nor tariffs will solve the issue of migration or drug consumption."
Let's get one thing straight. Migration and drug trafficking are complex issues. Sheinbaum herself has stated that neither threats nor tariffs will solve the issue of migration or drug consumption. Mexico has been actively working to manage migration flows and combat drug trafficking, often in cooperation with the United States authorities. But Trump's simplistic, heavy-handed approach ignores the root causes of these issues, such as economic disparity, violence, and a demand for drugs within the United States. It's not just content that's spreading lies about migration agreements. Trump has also threatened to impose a 25% tariff on all products imported from Mexico and Canada unless they stop the flow of migrants and drugs into the United States. This isn't just economic suicide, it's a reckless gamble with our international relationships. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had to sit down with Trump to explain the basics of how tariffs work, explaining that this idiotic idea would harm both Canadian and American consumers and businesses. It's a sad day when the leader of our country needs a remedial lesson in economics from a foreign counterpart. What's truly infuriating is how Trump's base laps up this garbage without question. They buy into his lies about Mexico bending the knee and caravans of migrants invading our country, all while ignoring the facts. This isn't just ignorance, it's willful blindness fueled by xenophobia and racism. And the media outlets that perpetuate these falsehoods are complicit in deceiving the public. It's a dangerous cycle that undermines our democracy and sows division among us. Trump's lies about agreements with Mexico and his reckless tariff threats aren't just political bluster. They have real consequences for our economy, our international relationships, and the lives of countless individuals. When a leader makes unfounded claims about agreements with foreign counterparts, it erodes trust and damages relationships. Mexico and Canada are two of our closest allies and trading partners. Misrepresenting discussions with their leaders not only insults their sovereignty, but also complicates future negotiations on critical issues like trade, security, and immigration. Trump's approach to migration and drug trafficking lacks common sense. These are not issues that can be resolved through intimidation or unilateral demands. They require collaboration that addresses root causes such as poverty, violence, and other factors. The economic consequences of imposing crazy tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada cannot be minimized. These idiotic measures would disrupt supply chains, increase costs for consumers, and provoke retaliation, resulting in a trade war. Industries ranging from automotive to agriculture would suffer, leading to job losses. It's a reckless strategy that harms American workers and consumers more than anyone else. What's even worse is the spread of misinformation. This has had such a corrosive effect on our society. When people like Trump spread lies and media goes along with it, it creates an environment where truth isn't important. This undermines the very foundations of our democracy. We have to, as a nation, demand better from our leaders and our news sources. We must hold them accountable for their words and actions, insist on truth and transparency, and turn away from their divisive tactics that keep the undereducated fighting. Our democracy depends on an educated public that can see through the lies, but sadly, education is not high on the list for Trump's America. And that is an absolute sad fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.